Are you an early Head Start child care director or interested in learning more about an EHS program? Well, you've come to the right place. We're going to chat with one of ELV's very own EHS program directors today, get the scoop, see how she's doing, and have any updates she's got from an EHS perspective. Hi, everybody. Milena Boris here again for our weekly What's Up Wednesday interview session. Today, I am so excited to have Dania with us. She is a EHS director for Rising Star Early Learning Center. So welcome, Dania. Thanks so much for taking the time today.
Thank you for having me.
Sure thing. All right. So just to get started here, tell us a little bit about any ECE experience you have prior to being a director here at Rising Star.
So I kind of have a weird kind of background. I actually have an accounting background, not an early childhood background. I opened up Rising Star. Somebody else was supposed to be the director, and I ended up being the director. So I didn't have any. That was 10 years ago. I had no early childhood experience except raising my own children, and kind of learned backwards how to learn the business side, and then learned the early childhood side. So it's just interesting. But I had a lot of. I'm actually the managing director at Rising Star. I also have a director there as well. But I surrounded myself with good people that know the early childhood field, and I kind of learned how to become a director that way.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's awesome. Good for you. Tell us a little bit just about how your center's grown as time has passed since you started.
Oh God, we've really grown. We opened up the center knowing that we wanted to have a quality center. We serve a low-income population, high needs, low-income population, and we wanted to be able to provide them good quality care. I think the children deserve it. So we knew that was our goal from the get-go. I was fortunate. I knew a lot of people in the childhood industry, education, and they helped me. People from Little Angels, the director there, as that was really good, as leading me and telling me exactly what to do and how to get there. And then with the help, and then we went from friends, and then our Rapid Early Childhood Council. About 4 years into it, actually 2 years into it, we joined ELV. And then after ELV, we joined Early Head Start. So it just kind of just kept growing and growing from there. So it's all steps. It was a process. We knew we wanted to go, but finding that the avenues was really important.
Yeah.
And partnership with ELV, with our community, with our families was really important. And that's how we got where we got.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. Well, for those who don't know, kind of break it down just a little bit for what it means to be an early Head Start program and kind of how that process works overall.
So Early Head Start is basically, we're a partnership with ELV. They're the ones that have the grant. They're the grantee, and we're partners with them. And they oversee all the paperwork and all the stuff that deals with the federal government. The audits, we don't have to deal with any of that.
Right.
That's the beauty of it. We just have to deal with the quality part of making sure that we have our curriculum in place, we have our ratios in place, our teachers are qualified, our kids are enrolled in the proper classrooms, quality is there, coaching is there to support that. It's a little bit different with COVID, that there's been challenges. But the beauty of it is that we don't have to deal with the regulatory part of it. That I think that would have been a huge turnoff dealing with the federal government, because it is federal dollars, and they're very strict about where their money and how it's spent. So we just have to deal with that, and we were dealing with that anyway. But it was what's really good about it is they helped us. Supported us maintaining that quality, because when we signed up, we were already a 4-star, level 4 center, and with the help of ELV, we were able to maintain that quality. So that was really important.
Perfect. Yeah, being kind of however we can support exactly in that way. EHS is wonderful. So we're so happy you've been such a success story with all of that and all of your hard work for that. So congrats, and that's awesome.
Thank
So how
you.
have things been for you since the pandemic started? Any new processes or routines? Kind of just taking it day by day. How's it been?
It's been interesting. The health department, we had a really long conversation because we closed up. We didn't have to close up, but I think
Mhm.
we had to kind of close up a little bit and realign our center. In the beginning, we had a lot of problems with families listening and understanding what the protocols needed to be. They didn't understand we had to do things differently.
Right.
So we closed for a couple of weeks. We kind of redid everything. And we had a long conversation with the health department before we finally opened up our center back again. And one of the things that she said to me was very true. She said, "Really, as a center, as a childcare, we're more prepared than anybody else in the business world to tackle on COVID because we already have the processes in place.
Sure.
We do the hand washing, we do the sanitizing. There were some things that we had to get rid of. There are some things that we had to put in place, like temperature checks. Parents can't go into the center. A few things we had to tweak, but
Hmm.
and then the masks. Let's not forget the masks. But everything else, we really kind of was not different.
Sure.
One of the biggest changes, I think, is where we really kind of struggled right now. I have a lot of staff that have underlying conditions or are older in age.
Sure.
That are not able to come back. So where we went from really, really low staff turnover. I mean, many of my staff have been with me the whole time we were there. A lot of those staffs are no longer with us or they're on hold. So
Gotcha.
that kind of
Puts a
threw
key.
us.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's a key component. We've gotten good staff since, but just retraining and relearning has been hard. But we'll get there.
Get there.
Um, but yeah, but of course, we get the supports from the community and ELZ and Early
Mhm.
Head Start. Yeah.
All right. Have you used the touchless sign in for the on the app?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we have. We have. A
Yeah.
lot of our parents really like it.
Okay.
And I've sent it out a few times to the families. I use Core to send out everything.
Right.
Um, and then sometimes the parents say, "Oh, I didn't get that," and I'll send it to them personally through their email. And for the ones that I also printed out the flyers as well, just to make sure everybody has it.
Yeah.
But I have 50%
Okay.
50% using it. I would love 100% to use it, but some of us don't even care. Don't even think
Sure.
there's
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
But yeah, but a lot of but it's a good option to have, and we've used it since the day it came out.
Perfect. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So, what's one piece of advice you'd give to an ECE professional right now in this kind of hectic time?
Um, I'll give you an example. So right now I'm in quarantine because my one of my children tested positive for COVID.
Ooh,
So I'm stuck at home for 14 days. But I'm still working because I can access my systems. I
sure.
can access Core. I can access anything
All in
from
one.
home. So I can still work. I can still communicate with my families and my staff. I know that as a director, you have to be there, but it's better than nothing.
Nothing.
Um, I think is to have a backup system in these hard times. You don't know when you're going to be quarantined. You don't know when you're going to want to have a positive case. We've been lucky; we haven't got a positive case in the center yet. We
Nice.
don't know when the health department is going to close you down for a day or two or 2 weeks. We just don't know. These are uncertain times, but it's expected, and we have that in place. You have to have action steps in place for that,
Yep.
contingencies. And I think one of that is using the systems that you have. The Core is really a great system to be able to communicate to families, to be able to access families, to be able to access your attendance. I have the early Head Start staff also accesses their teachers. We give them access to their classrooms so they can contact families if we had to close. For example, when we closed the center for a couple of weeks, all our staff was able to still call our families and give them services as much as we can. We did home visit. We were due for our home visits in April, and we did our home visits, and we did our conferences. So staff was able to do their work and continue doing their work because of the systems were in place where they can work from home without the children being there. We're early childhood education. We have to be there to take care of the kids.
Right.
But when we can't, we can still support parents and kids and children and students. And that works not just for early Head Start and infant toddlers, but across the board for all the center.
Sure. Perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'll just give you the last little bit here to provide any feedback overall or updates on behalf of you and your center just for the ELD network overall.
We really don't have much updates. One of the things is we are going to go through our Colorado Shines
Oh, yeah.
rating in April, and I'm hearing that's going to be virtual.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
So I've gone to a training on that, a virtual training, and it's kind of interesting. We're kind of we're wondering how that's going to look like.
Everything's so different.
It seems too easy to be true, I'm going to be honest, but we'll keep our fingers crossed and see how that goes.
Yeah, I hear it. All right, well, that's all I've got for you today, Dania. I appreciate it so much, and you have a good rest of your day.
All right, well, thank you so much.